I scared you, didn't I? Well, that's good, because we're going to be reading a scary story today. You all know what this is for one day. If I am correct, it is October 27th, and today we're going to be reading a scary story. Okay, I just read a story, and it wasn't that creepy, but it's pretty effed up, so I'm going to put that as like a bonus thing at some point. But I've just found another one, which hits close to home. It's called The Stalker in the Backyard. I'm not saying that just because there was some guy hiding under my trampoline. I meant like, it's what everyone's afraid of, you know, someone just being in their garden, just staring at them, just waiting to do whatever creepy shit they want to do. I'm sorry I had to do this. I'm sorry I couldn't ruin the illusion any longer. I needed to wear my glasses. Sorry for any mistakes or anything. I get quite tongue-tied when I read aloud, and I couldn't breathe most of this video, so it was pretty hard to even say anything, so soz. Username is Kayla Barrel, I think. That's how you pronounce it, right? Let's do this. So I'm going to start with a little personal note at the top, because it obviously ties into the story. Hey everyone, so this is my first time writing or posting anything on Reddit, although I am a regular reader. The story I'm about to tell you is about a personal experience of mine around the time I was 14 in 2011. Just so you know, I can't pronounce the town name, so... I'm from a small town in northern Quebec. Sorry. And at the time of these incidents, I was still living there. The population of this town was about 1,800. The population of this town was about 1,800 people, and to give you some insight, it's very tightly knit and everyone knows each other, and that gives the town some kind of comfort. Kids are allowed to play outside and go to the park in town without any parental supervision because everyone knows each other, and as I said, the community is very tightly knit, so there isn't a lot of anxiety of people here. The incidents first began in early March of 2011. My parents had gone grocery shopping, and the nearest grocery store was about an hour and a half from my town. On top of this, we were experiencing a snowstorm, and they had taken my little brother with them. His name's Eagle. At this time he's about 7. I was home alone all evening, which is nothing out of the ordinary because I was used to staying alone, and if anything, my best friend lives across the street and a good family friend next door, who would check on me occasionally when my parents weren't home to make sure everything was good. My parents to arrive, and I'd looked outside the large front window of my house, which faces the street. I had seen a person standing at the driveway entrance to my house staring at my front door, completely dressed in black, and I couldn't make out if it was a man or a woman. I couldn't see the face, even though they were facing my house directly. I dropped to the floor in shock because my front door was not locked, and I didn't want this person to know I was alone. I stayed here for a few moments and got up and looked out of my window, and the person was gone. When my mum arrived, I told her about my weird experience, but she told me it was probably just one of my dad's friends checking if we were home, but I was pretty shaken. A couple weeks later, I was cleaning my room, and there was still a large amount of snow outside, and my backyard in winter is impossible to get around because of the snow, and it's just forest behind. So one night, Sorry, I just felt a breeze on my arm, it scared me. So one night around, I'm cleaning my room and I hear someone start banging loudly on my bedroom window. And I crawled under my bed and started screaming for my mum, refusing to look out the window. When my mum entered my room, I told her what had happened. She had told me to stop reacting, and it was probably just the wind, and maybe my dad dropped something in the basement, so I just brushed it off and went without incident until July. One day I was swimming in my backyard in one of those larger inflatable pools for families, and someone threw a large rock at me and hit me. I got up right away and told my brother to stop, but he wasn't there, and there was nobody outside. I didn't really know what to think of it. I just thought it was weird, and when I asked my mum where my brother was, she said he was inside with her the whole time, and this is where stuff gets really weird. The next morning my mum asked me why there's so much large rocks in our pool, and if I did it, or if my brother did it. No. I told her no, but I told her again about the person who threw the rock at me the day before, and she thought it was probably my friends. This happens every day for a week. Each day we emptied the pool only to find more rocks the following morning, and I grew tired of my mum blaming me, or my friends, and not knowing who blaming... I grew tired of my mum blaming me, or my friends, and not knowing who kept doing this. Then I was lying in bed. This was at night also, and I was trying to go to bed and someone banged on my window, and I just bolted out of my room and told my parents. But it was the same response: you're overreacting, it's probably your friends. Then I realised this is probably the same person from winter. So I asked a good friend of mine at the time, Kobe, to help catch whoever this is once and for all. And it was a weird situation, and we were always into scary stories, and we found ourselves in the excitement and mystery of one. I guess you could say we didn't take my situation seriously as we should have. Me. That's what happens to me. Then one night, me, Kobe and Eagle are at home, and I had to get something in the tent. I opened the door and it was about 10 PM and I see a flashlight shining around and go off. I tell Kobe someone's there and we should take our shot at catching them, and he grabs his bat and goes and checks it out, but no one's there. Me and Eagle move onto the balcony and hear the grass moving and getting fast. Then this person shines their flashlight on me and I see that it's a person from March who's dressed all in black. Me and Eagle run into the house and this person chases us, but luckily I lock the door and Kobe runs down the street. So at this point, we're even more curious. So we got ourselves snacks and stayed out in the tent until like 3 AM or 4 AM in the morning for about 5 days. Determined to catch this person and find out who they are. Each long waited night, no one came. I figured it was done and we had given up. On the 6th day, my dad bursts into my room and starts yelling, "What did we do to the tent?" at me, and I had no idea what he's talking about. We go outside and then the tent is gone from the balcony, nowhere in sight. Not in the crawl space under my balcony, not in the backyard, not in the street, nowhere. The only thing left was our mattress on the balcony. Someone took out the mattress and took the tent we hid out in for 5 days, waiting to catch them, and left the mattress. I would always walk to my grandma's and my best friend who lived across town's house. One day, I was hanging out at my grandma's and she told me that she had seen a person all in black standing in her backyard in the early morning around 5 AM. At my best friend's, we were sitting in the basement watching movies in the dark, and we had seen someone peek into the basement window. That's creepy. That's creepy. There were so much weird little things that had happened like this. Kobe had even seen someone following him home but couldn't see them because of the dark, and my other friend, the one who'd seen the person peeking in the basement with me, had said that her parents were complaining about someone messing with their boat things in their backyard, and we even found her screen window to the basement broken. But that was it. The rest of the year went by eventless, and the stalker was just a weird memory that my parents disregarded from their 14-year-old daughter. I guess the situation was too absurd. I really thought it was the end. But one December night, I spent the day out and I left the door unlocked because I lost my set of house keys and my family went out of town for the weekend. I walked into my house and turned on the lights and went to the washroom. My 2 dogs were sitting beside the stairs. Then I heard what sounded like a cough from a man. My dogs went crazy and just started barking and looking down at the basement. My uncle came to check it out, but there was nothing, and it was just a big storage place in our basement. and 2 rooms have no lights and there's no windows there. At 2 a.m. that morning, after feeling so uncomfortable in my house and having my dogs refuse to leave the entrance of the basement staircase, I started hearing movement again and breathing coming from that, and sounds of someone walking up the steps, and my dogs started growling, and when they began barking again, I ran outside with my phone and shoes and just ran to my grandmother's and stayed there that night. Although the next day we found a set of footprints leaving the back door, I'm not sure if it was the same person, but I never had any experiences like that since. I had moved towns not long after. We never found out who it was, if it was a man or a woman. If I knew them, it still haunts me and makes me anxious about being alone in my new home now. So stalker in my backyard, let's not meet. Boom, I did it. I actually wrote a story. It was taking a lot of effort because my eyes are watering and my throat really hurts. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to share with your friends because, again, why not? Don't forget to subscribe for more scary stories and more scary spooky things on Fangirlween. And I shall see you guys tomorrow. I'm terrified.